Hello, good afternoon and welcome to Sixways Stadium for today's ESFA TV broadcast as we bring you live coverage of the 9 versus 9 Under-15 Girls Schools Cup for New Teams final between King's Langley School and Marple Hall School. I'm Isaac Barrington, here in position to guide you through the 70-minute match that we have in store today. 2 periods of 35 minutes, and should the teams still be locked level at the end of them, it would then be straight to penalties. Well, let's show you the teams then, starting with King's Langley School and their goalkeeper, Sasha Vadgama. She's also the captain of the King's Langley team. Then outfield they have Millie Waitman, Freya Hobson, Annabelle Wicks, Daisy Bird, Molly Tongue, Sophie Foley, Elisha Price and Ruby Young. John Annett is the man in charge of his King's Langley side. As for Marple Hall, they've travelled here from Stockport to Worcester today. Their boss is Michael Stretton. In goal, Ellie Sanders, then the captain, Madison Cox, and the rest of the outfield side, Freya Thornton, Penny Hallis, Katie Turner, Lucy Mason, Isla Robinson, Poppy Jo Llewellyn, and Connie Taylor. On the substitute bench for the respective sides today, the subs that you can see there on the left for King's Langley, just the 2 of them, Roma Burmy and Tessa Humbles, waiting in the wings to be called upon, and the 5 substitute options for Marple Hall: Daisy Higginson, Izzy Rowley, Felicity Barnett, Amy Walker and Ellie Spencer. Your referee for this one is Mr. Ben Gudger. His assistants are Luke Gudger and Scott Fenn, and the 4th official is Simon Gudger. Well, the 2 teams just going through their final pre-match routines then. Posed for some photographs as well by the looks of things, certainly for King's Langley. But both of them here on merit today after great seasons respectively. I was just looking at the records of these 2 teams en route to today's Development Cup final. Both sides have played 7 games to get here, and they've quite remarkably got exactly the same record in terms of goals scored and conceded. 39 goals these 2 teams have both scored in those 7 games to reach today's final. Just 6 conceded for the pair of them. They could not be more closely matched on paper at all, but there will have to be one winner today. Like I say, if there is still nothing to separate them at the end of the 70 minutes, then no time for extra time on a finals day like today. So it would be straight to penalties to decide the winner. Something which Marple Hall are familiar with this season. They've won 16 out of the 17 games that they've played in all competitions, and they won the other one on penalties as well. So should it go the distance, Marple Hall with the knowledge and know-how of a penalty shootout previously this season already. For King's Langley, this is their first ever 9 versus 9 final as a school. They did previously make the 5-a-side finals. That was back 10 years ago in 2015, so big occasion this for both schools, but perhaps particularly for King's Langley here in a national final for the first time in a decade. Great to see the support as well in the stand over on the far side from our vantage point here at Sixways Stadium. It's the home of Worcester Warriors. And this artificial 4G turf, it will make for a great game. Slick, smooth surface. It looks like we're just about ready to get things started as well. Marple Hall in the sky blue, and King's Langley in their maroon strip. It's going to be Marple Hall to get us underway then. The side, as I say, from Stockport, King's Langley from Hertfordshire. coming head-to-head today in Worcestershire to see who will get their hands on the silverware come full time today. Referee just making sure that all's in order. We are now ready to begin. Marple Hall playing from right to left as we look at things here in this first half. We're underway in the ESFA Girls Under 15 9 versus 9 Schools Cup Final. So you can see the pitch markings, the 9 versus 9 pitch markings that they have in operation for all of the ESFA games of this nature. And the penalty area marked out there importantly as well for the goalkeepers. First goal kick of the day, taken forward there by Sasha Vadgama, the goalkeeper and captain, as I mentioned, so clearly an important player in this Kings Langley side. Throw in now for Marple Hall in towards Poppy Jo Llewellyn. It's bouncing around the penalty area as well as Marple Hall look to start brightly. Hack clearance away then from Daisy Bird. It's going to be sent back in there by Lucy Mason. And it just bounces through into the grateful arms of Vadgama. Bright start though in the first minute or so. Very early on for Marple Hall, but looking to set their stall down early on. Now maybe an opportunity at the other end for Kings Langley. Asking for a corner there, but they're not going to get it. There's the effort from the number 11, Molly Tongue. Certainly wasn't afraid to take the strike on, was she? There, Tongue. A little bit wayward with the effort, but she'll be looking for more and more service in those attacking areas as the game progresses. And this time the goal kick for Marple Hall taken instead by the defender. Up towards the halfway mark. And then the clearance away from Freya Hobson puts it out for a throw-in. Yeah, it really is quite remarkable that both teams have the exact same record in the 7 games. As I say, 39 goals scored and 6 conceded. Had to double check and do the maths again to make sure I was getting that right. But no, it is. 39 scored and 6 conceded for both teams. Down the right side there progressing was Katie Turner, and she's done well to win her Marple Hall side a corner. So this corner to be delivered then as an outswinger into the danger zone, and it's turned over the top by Mason. Her again had that long-range effort in the first minute, which was held on to by Vadgama, that time not on target. With the effort resulting from the corner, but certainly looks to be a live wire, doesn't she, particularly in those attacking areas for Marple Hall. Goalkeepers out of the penalty area, sent it forward though, now helped on by Robinson. I'd say that Marple Hall have started the brighter, but a long, long way to go yet, of course. Sometimes in finals like this, you can get slow burning starts. Two teams maybe just trying to settle down into the national final contest, but it hasn't been the case here. It's been lively, frenetic from the off. And now coming down the other way in search of the number 9, Ruby Young. She's leading the line today for Kings Langley. She is their top goal scorer en route to the final here today as well. 12 goals she's scored in those aforementioned 7 games. Kings Langley actually started their ESFA Cup campaign with an 18-0 win over Emmanuel College. And they quite rightly point out the fact that every single player in their squad that day was on the score sheet. Quite an incredible achievement, wasn't it, to start the tournament for them. Looking to finish it in the perfect fashion as well here. But it's Marple Hall again on the attack. Llewellyn keeps it in play. Then put into touch by Price. Alicia Price wearing the number 7 shirt for Kings Langley. Closest they came to elimination was on a couple of occasions actually. Kings Langley have come through games by a narrow 3-2 scoreline. Chance here though, maybe down the other end. There's an opportunity here for them as well, and it was Ruby Young, player who I just mentioned, being their top goal scorer in this season's competition. The first opportunity here in the final for her, but it comes and goes begging. Just rushed it a little bit maybe, didn't quite feel that she had time to set herself with 2 defenders lurking in close proximity to her. But yeah, those 3-2 wins, 2 of them came against Croxley Danes and Sir Bernard Lovell. In rounds 3 and 6 of the competition, it was a much more comfortable 5-0 win away from home for Kings Langley in the semi-final over Wymondham. Oh, nice touch again there from Mason, operating in midfield. But as I say, she's started brightly and on the front foot, forward thinking as well. There's the ball forward now to Ruby Young, but the offside flag goes up, the first offside call of the day. And we'll restart here with the free kick ball on the deck for Marple Hall. Yeah, I mentioned Kings Langley's route to the final. Well, for Marple Hall, it's been relatively straightforward. There was a 2-1 win in round 6. But other than that, every single game has been pretty comfortable for them. 4-0, 4-0 again, 2-0. Showing their defensive stability as well. They kept 4 clean sheets in the 7 games, as well as the goal-scoring prowess that they have, with a couple of wins with double-figure digits. 12-0 against Stockport Academy in round 2 and 11-3 against Honley High in the following round. Kept in play there over on the far side by Young, and that's lovely with the footwork as well. Referee's going to bring it back though. Tried to play the advantage, I think, there. Referee Ben Gudger. Good officiating though, as no advantage came about, so brings it back for the free kick instead. Tried to see if anything could develop from the cross, but it didn't. Instead now they'll have the opportunity, Kings Langley, to deliver once more from the set piece that side. And it goes into the penalty area, clipped in there, cleared away, good distance on the clearance as well, and in fact she's going to chase after her own ball forwards. Wasn't kept in though. There are 2 sets of markings there on the near side, the closest to the camera of which is for the technical area. As you can see, both managers, John Annett and Michael Stretton, in those technical areas. So 0-0 it remains, 9 minutes played in this ESFA Girls Under-15 9 versus 9 Schools Cup for new teams final. And we're going to see the first change of the game as well, roll-on, roll-off changes. So managers permitted to make as many changes by way of substitutions as they wish throughout the game. Just trying to see who it was who's come off there, but I can certainly see the number 11 of Izzy Rowley. She's the player who's come on. And it's going to be a double change in actual fact, joining her, Daisy Higginson. Would have helped if the fourth official had turned that substitutions board round there. I can see Isla Robinson, she's one of the two who's been replaced. So Higginson and Rowley on in the first double switch. Here come Kings Langley though with Price into the penalty area, just too high there for Ruby Young. Runs through though, mind. Here's Foley. Nothing comes of it in the end, but again, promising that for Kings Langley, just beginning to turn the screw a little in the most recent minutes, particularly down that left wing as well, where they look threatening. There you go, you can see the numbers there. Katie Turner, the other player, who was withdrawn in that double change. So Turner and Robinson make way for Higginson and Rowley. Long it goes from back to front again there by skipper Madison Cox. She'll have been dreaming last night, I'm sure, of getting her hands on the trophy come the full-time whistle today. As to, of course, the Kings Langley captain, Vadgama. She's more than just your regular goalkeeper as well, by the way, Sasha Vadgama. I'm told she's scored 7 goals this season in all competitions. Mentioned that every player on their team list in the first round of this year's competition were on the score sheet. She's no stranger to being on the score sheet then, by the sound of things, Sasha Vadgama. One to keep an eye on. Forward there for Marple Hall, but out of play. And the throw-in is Kings Langley's. Fellow pupils, students of the two respective schools have travelled here in good numbers as well, and stand over on the far side, which they're occupying well. Great to see the support for the under-15 girls team for both schools. I'm sure plenty of you tuning in back at school watching this as well. It's regularly the case for these schools finals, so very warm welcome to you all. Chasing after that there was the energetic Poppy Jo Llewellyn. And that's nice through the heart of midfield, and forward it goes then from Daisy Bird, again out onto that left wing for Price. Oh, what a goal! Kings Langley in front, and it's Alicia Price the scorer. Cross come shot gives Kings Langley the breakthrough, and again it was down that left flank where they've been oh so threatening so far. And jubilation for those Kings Langley supporters over on the far side. They strike first, and it's the number 7, Alicia Price, who gets the breakthrough goal. Just too much height on it, wasn't there, for Ellie Sanders in the Marple Hall goal? But it was pinpoint in the end. Like I say, cross come shot maybe. Kings Langley in front, and now with their tails up as well. Here's Ruby Young, sets it back, looking for Foley, and put out of play by the number 15, Madison Cox. Alicia Price has her name announced by our stadium MC here at Sixways Stadium. It's met by raptures of noise. Oh, there the goalkeeper comes out to the edge of the penalty area. There's another opportunity, still bouncing around there, Price again. And now it's cleared off the line from back behind Sanders. Mason read the danger and had to as well. It was so important there that Lucy Mason got back behind her goalkeeper. It's a rather large penalty area in truth, and Sanders, the Marple Hall goalkeeper, was looking to make the most of that. We've already seen her leave that penalty area once, trying to command the box, as any good goalkeeper should, but the spillage, loose ends came about from the in the second phase of it. And it was nearly 2 goals in a matter of as many minutes there for Price, and that really would have been some start in the opening quarter of an hour for Kings Langley. Just need to settle again, don't they, Marple Hall? Remember, it was they who started the better in the first couple of minutes, but they look vulnerable again here. Goalkeeper out to meet Price, though, and that's good goalkeeping. Brilliant goalkeeping, in fact, from Sanders. Well, if she was disappointed to have spilt the prior cross, so much to be pleased and proud about there. Great judgment, wasn't it? Decisive in making the decision to come out and claim the ball like she did, and to be able to hold on to it and make sure there wasn't any loose ends that time as well. Superb from Sanders. I think it was Ruby Young, wasn't it, running through instead of Price that time for Kings Langley, but either way it was another opportunity for them. And certainly warning signs again for the Marple Hall defence. Their radar will be flashing at this stage. And no chances taken that time with the clearance out from Penny Hallis. A very promising start for Kings Langley, that though a foul throw, so rightly overturned. Yeah, like I say, a long way to go. No need to panic, therefore, for Marple Hall. But it has been a hugely encouraging start for Kings Langley, and I'm sure their boss, John Annett, delighted with what he's seen from his side so far. No foul, game allowed to continue. Foley then dispossessed in a firm but fair challenge, went jumping into it, but made sure she got to the ball there, Izzy Rowley. A good tackle again, tenacious as ever, and goes for a third bite at it. Another chance here, though. It's the goal scorer, Price. That time wins a corner off her opposite number. 2 number 7s. Price trying to deliver the cross, and Higginson there to make sure it had no way past her. Well, we saw Lucy Mason with a half chance from a corner, delivered from the far side down the other end of the pitch early on for Marple Hall. Kings Langley now with their first opportunity to deliver from the corner, runs all the way through. That time Sanders got her fingertips to it, but only helped it on its way through the box. And again, a good challenge that time to take the ball away from Foley. And once more from Izzy Rowley. Sure, it won't be the last, we'll see from her. Very much likes the tackle, which is it's good to see determination in defending like that. Battle in midfield there, helped on by Llewellyn. Forward it was sent there all the way through to goalkeeper Van Garmer, though. Comfortable collection there for the Kings Langley number 1. Good distance on the kick forward as well. It was dropping down with the sun in the eyes, perhaps of Freya Thornton too, but no concerns for her as she heads it out of play. Good watch this game so far. Promised on paper to be, didn't it? With the records of the two teams prior to today. You just never know what you're going to get until the teams take to the field. Certainly sense from the number of opportunities that these first 19 minutes have brought us as well that this isn't going to end 1-0. Plenty more chances, and you sense at least another couple of goals as well, surely. Relatively long throw in into the penalty area. Llewellyn then on the half turn. Had to improvise and did well to do so there, Poppy Jo Llewellyn. Over the bar it went though. Was an audacious effort, but one which she felt was worth taking on nonetheless. We're going to have a drinks break here, a cooling period for the two players. It is high temperatures here in Worcester, with the sun blazing down on the players as well. "25 degrees at the time of kick-off, the temperature, so understandable why this cooling break is in operation. And what it does do, of course, is provide a much welcomed, I'm sure, opportunity for the two team managers to get some messages, words of advice, encouragement on board to their respective group of girls. Just a chance for Michael Stretton, you can see there leading the Marple Hall team. Very smartly dressed in his shirt and tie. And the same colours as well as the Marple Hall players in actual fact. But yeah, it just gives him an opportunity to maybe try to reset his team a little, go back to the basic principles of what they've done so well all season long. I'm sure the message from John Annett and Abu Chowdhury, his assistant for Kings Langley, will be more the same, please, girls. Great start for them. And they've got the all-important goal from Alicia Price to show for that as well. So they're going to come back out onto the pitch here now, the players, and in fact there's going to be another change and another Marple Hall switch. And it's Isla Robinson who started the game to come back on. And so too Katie Turner. So the two players who were withdrawn after, I think it was around 10 minutes into the game, both now being reintroduced. I believe that's a reversal of the double change which we saw earlier actually. So Higginson and Rowley, who came on for Robinson and Turner, both now back on the substitutes bench. It's Turner and Robinson back on. It's the beauty of the roll-on, roll-off substitutes rule, isn't it? Gives so much tactical adaptation, freedom to managers, particularly when they have the 5 options on the bench available, as Michael Stretton does for Marple Hall. Just the 2 substitutes here today with the Kings Langley team. You wonder whether that will have a role to play in the game. Perhaps more in the second half when fatigue comes into things more so than in the first half, but we'll see. I think the instruction there from the Marple Hall boss was just to take your time for the throw in here for Madison Cox. Aligns with the fact that he might just want his team to settle down. Head tennis at the moment there for a second or two. Over the halfway line now, and again, tenacious, isn't she? Looking after those almost lost causes. Ruby Young, not one to give a lost ball up like that. So nearly 24 minutes played of this first period of 35 minutes. We understand as well that there was the option for 2 40-minute periods, but given the heat, temperatures today, the two teams both agreed to play a 70-minute match instead. Understandable, sensible, isn't it, probably in these conditions. Great work there from Connie Taylor, using her body and the strength, upper body strength well. Wins the throw-in. Llewellyn's throw-in, looking for Taylor. Llewellyn again, progressing towards the penalty area. This time the throw-in again to be taken by Cox. Launches it forwards. Foley then up to Young. It's a great pick out as well by Ruby Young. Again switching the play over onto that dangerous Kings Langley left wing, from which the goal came, remember. Handball there, the call, so we'll restart with the free kick for Kings Langley. Don't think it was an intentional handball, but the arm was raised, and therefore the correct decision to penalise that. Daisy Bird takes that free kick and takes it well. Plenty of height on it, good delivery, but Price only able to head it through to Sanders. Oh, a bit of a miscue on the throw-in, but it was taken correctly at the second time of asking by Robinson. I think the ball just slipped out of her hands to begin with. She's done well then, though, in the aftermath. Robinson finds a good ball forward as well here. And the shot on the spin is in! And Marple Hall are back level. It's the number 10, Penny Hallis, with the equalising goal. As she wheels away in celebration. Looked such a difficult ask to make anything of that, with her back to goal there, but Penny Hallis able to turn and pick out the corner, so precise with the finish. Marple Hall back on level terms. It's one apiece here in the final. Well, what a strike that was. Required such accuracy, and the accuracy was there for her. And those Marple Hall supporters, students, bouncing up and down on the far side as they sing the name of their number 10, Penny Hallis. Has this season been playing in the Manchester United Girls Academy. I'm told she's moving across the city from red to blue for the forthcoming campaign. And they're coming forward again here, looking for Hallis once more, but it was wayward of her run that time. But yeah, certainly a player with quality. It goes without saying if you're in the Manchester club's academies. She's come up big, come up trumps with the equaliser here today. I said it wasn't going to end 1-0. Always felt as though there's going to be more goals, and it still does. Still with 6.5 minutes, plus stoppage time, of course, as well, to play in this first half. Then the teams will have the opportunity to go back into the changing rooms and reassess where they're at that point. Driving forward well there was Daisy Bird, but it's going to trickle through and out and behind. Another substitution, and this time it is a Kings Langley switch, so perhaps just conceding that equaliser has maybe prompted boss John Annett to make this change. It's Roma Burmy who's going to be the player coming on. It's her 8th goal in this year's ESFA competition. Penny Hallis in towards her again. Oh, what a goal that is! Penny Hallis, take a bow. That is quite superb. To even have the presence of mind to think to try to take that on, and then the quality to find the corner again. Unbelievable from the Marple Hall number 10, and just like that, in a couple of minutes she's turned this game around. 2-1. What a wonderful goal. Just take a moment to appreciate the brilliance. We don't have the benefit of replays today, but that's certainly one to wind the stream back and watch again. Her first was a good strike in itself, and one which she really made for herself too, but the second absolutely tops it. Both of them though, goals which ultimately she scored from chances that didn't really look likely to prove to be the route to goal at all. The first with her back to goal, had to spin and find the corner without even really seeing the goal until the last second. And then the second, well, she just knew where the goal was, didn't she? Eyes in the back of her head. Penny Hallis going across the city of Manchester from United to City. Well, they've got a really, really good player on their hands by the looks of things. And now, suddenly, the onus is on Kings Langley to respond. That's why we love the beautiful game, how quickly it can turn like that. Well, she's scored dozens of goals this season. And across her young footballing career, I'm sure, Penny Hallis, but I'm not sure she would have scored many better than that. And to do it today, on finals day, in front of the cameras. What a moment that is for her. She's on a hat-trick now. Plenty of time to get it too. Confirmation, by the way, that it was Sophie Foley who was replaced in that Kings Langley substitution when Burney came on. Forward then from back to front by Annabelle Wicks. Just began to get to grips with those runners in behind a bit better as well, Marple Hall. Also, what you would say is whatever was said in that calling break, the timeout, as it proved to be, if you will, from boss Michael Stretton, has certainly worked wonders for his team. They've got some defending to do here at the moment though, because it's a throw-in over on the left for Kings Langley. Launched again into the penalty area, and good claim from Sanders, who made sure that that was hers and made sure that her fellow teammates in defence knew that she was coming forward as well. Cox in a little bit of a sticky situation, pressured by Burney, but gets the throw-in. Final minute then of regulation time in this first half. We'll see how much is added on as stoppage time. 3 goals and of course the drinks break. So you'd expect there to be some. 2 minutes or so maybe. Trying to catch goalkeeper Sanders off guard. It just bounced wide of the post. Long and direct on the goal kick again from Madison Cox. As we move into stoppage time at the end of the first period now then. Good work from Roma Burmy. And equally good defending to get back at her from Isla Robinson. Haven't seen an indication of how much stoppage time we'll play, so that's going to be left to the referee's discretion to decide by the looks of things. Burmy there with the throw-in, shorter than we've seen from many throw-in deliveries so far today. Sent into the feet of Price instead. Seems to have moved across into a more central position. Price, since those 2 Marple Hall goals were scored, perhaps trying to get their goal scorer in a more threatening central position rather than the left wing role which she was occupying to begin with. Yeah, seems as though it's a slight change in things for Kings Langley as Ruby Young has gone out over onto that left wing. But we're closing in on half-time now then, and it looks as though it's going to be this slender advantage going into the break for Marple Hall. Foul as the heels of Hallis were clipped. If you are to do one thing at half-time, I highly recommend it go back and rewind the stream to watch that Penny Hallis goal to make it 2-1 again. Delivery that time from Hallis as she looks to turn provider, and it was a great cross in there as well. Isla Robinson found a pocket of space in the danger zone, just not quite the connection and the set-piece delivery that she was after. Well, that's good in midfield as Stacey Bird has it. Nice footwork again to find Burmy. Comfortably through to Sanders though. And there the referee blows the half-time whistle. So after the opening goal from Alicia Price for Kings Langley, Marple Hall have been able to turn this one around heading into half-time. 2 goals from their number 10, Penny Hallis, on her way from Manchester United to Manchester City, and you can see why with the quality of the 2 goals that she's scored in that first half. Do go back and watch them again here at half-time, but at the break, it's Kings Langley score 1, Marple Hall score 2. Welcome back then for the second half of the ESFA Girls Under-15 9 versus 9 Schools Cup for New Teams final here at Sixways Stadium in Worcester. Teams are back out onto the pitch after an enthralling first half. The first half in which Kings Langley took the lead, went 1-0 up through their number 7 Alicia Price with a cross-come shot from the wing. But then the rest of the first half story was all about the Marple Hall number 10 Penny Hallis and her 2 goals to turn the game around. The first, a stabbed effort, shot on the spin to find the bottom corner, and then the second, a quite spectacular improvised heel flick finish, again into the same bottom left-hand corner to give Marple Hall the lead. So 2-1 it is then, heading into this second half as we get back underway. Work to do for Kings Langley if they are to get back into this in the second 35, but for Marple Hall, they know as well that the job is far from done. Some substitutions at half-time as well there, by the way. I saw Daisy Higginson, the number 7, coming onto the pitch for Marple Hall. I believe Sophie Foley, who started the game for Kings Langley, has also been reintroduced. So I'll do my best to keep you up to date with those changes, as they'll inevitably continue to happen throughout this second half. Breaks in midfield there for Daisy Bird of Kings Langley as they attack the goal to the left in this second 35. Hobson. Cut out then in midfield by Freya Thornton. And into the penalty area from Sophie Foley, back on at half-time, but again, bread and butter work that for Ellie Sanders, who was highly commanding of her penalty area in the first half, wasn't she? And you certainly wouldn't expect that to change in the second period. Just thinking back to the chance which Kings Langley did have to make it 2-0. There's an opportunity here, though, for 3-1 maybe. And again, it was another chance that time for Isla Robinson, who had a chance just at the back end of the first half. And, well, it's an opportunity for her either side of half-time now. Both occasions, she just hasn't been able to make the contact that she wanted with the ball when bouncing to her like that. But getting into really good areas. Certainly making a nuisance of herself to the Kings Langley defence. But yeah, just going back to the point I was making before that, Kings Langley had the opportunity to double their lead, to really take charge of the game, didn't they, when Price's effort was cleared off the line. You'll remember Lucy Mason got back behind Sanders just a couple of minutes after the breakthrough goal. Sanders was left in no man's land, and Lucy Mason, the player who cleared the ball away off the line, but had she not been there, then it would have been 2-0 to Kings Langley, and you wonder whether Marple Hall would then have been able to mount the comeback and find the 2 Penny Hallis goals that they did from 1-0 down. It would have been a different sort of game with a 2-goal margin of a lead. And there's Llewellyn. Turner does well. Under pressure, but finds the pass back to Poppy Jo Llewellyn. And then set on the edge of the penalty area and inviting, and there were cries of shoot from the fans as well, and that opportunity wasn't turned down. Quickly blocked though, good defending from the Kings Langley back line. You can see Izzy Rowley there, ready to come back on by the looks of things for Marple Hall. Slight concern there for Katie Turner as she was down on the deck for a moment, but back to her feet now, which is good to see. Okay to carry on. Turner drills it forward and taken then by Higginson. Into the box it goes, then cleared away. Marple Hall still having more of the ball, particularly in those attacking areas. Second halves began in similar fashion to how the first ended, really. Flick header into the arms of goalkeeper Sasha Vadgama. She bowls the ball forward up to Molly Tung. Mason. She's done well to get to that there. Llewellyn sets it back as well to teammate Turner. Certainly was intention there for Roma Burmy to rob possession and win the ball. Her teammates then did so, but Tung's pass was misplaced and therefore possession was back with Marple Hall. Overturn after overturn for a moment, but it's out now for a throw-in over on the far side for Kings Langley, and you can see the encouragement, support there from the fellow students at the school. Friends and family, parents of the players, I'm sure, as well, there and amongst the crowd too. Llewellyn slips it through. Now there's a race on for this. Turner's going to get there. Turns it back into the penalty area too. Just cut back behind everybody though in the end. And the clearance away from Sophie Foley. Slightly concerning maybe for Kings Langley as to just how easily Marple Hall are finding such space in their defensive departments. Of course, at some stage, Kings Langley will have to commit more players further upfield if it stays this way. And go in search of an equalising goal themselves, but it's not a necessity. It's not a necessity that they do that just yet. The more crucial aspect you feel to the... Well, there's a player down here at the moment. It's the number 9, Ruby Young, who's just come out of that latest coming together. The worse off. You wonder whether she's got cramp there. Seems to be the case. But yeah, as I was saying, it's not 100% necessity for Kings Langley that they immediately go in search of this equalising goal. It's more crucial for them, you feel, that they stay in this game. Certainly for the next 10 or so minutes, and then maybe try to build a bit of pressure from there on in. Our first casualty to cramp then, by the looks of things, is the hard-working, yet now unfortunate Ruby Young. It gives an opportunity for this substitution for Marple Hall to be made. I said that Rowley was waiting to come back on, and now she has. And she takes Turner's place. Turner having been down on the deck herself moments ago. Double switch as well there by the looks of things for Marple Hall. The other player coming off is Isla Robinson. So back underway, Llewellyn, nice footwork as she ventures into the penalty area, and therefore those trying to dispossess her had to be careful. Now down the other end it's Ruby Young, bearing down on goal here. Ruby Young saved by the goalkeeper, well kept out by Ellie Sanders. Saw it all the way and was equal to it to make the stop. You have to wonder just how crucial a moment that could prove to be in the greater scheme of things and context of this final. Just forced wide a little bit, wasn't she there, Ruby Young, but it was a good chance nonetheless. And an equally good start from the Marple Hall #1. That's better though, isn't it, for Kings Langley? They'll be more pleased if they can fathom opportunities like that, find spaces in behind the Marple Hall defence, as they did there more frequently. Connie Taylor, who was taken off at half-time, looks as though she's maybe going to be rejoining the action shortly. Now, what have we got here? It's going to be an overturn of the initial throw-in by the looks of things. The referee's assistant was waving the flag to say that it was a foul throw. Referee Ben Goodger didn't see that to begin with, but when he did, rightly taking the advice of his assistant, I suppose, and overturning that throw-in. This is the first of two of the Girls Development Cup finals that we'll have live for you on ESFA TV, by the way, one today and the other on Monday, when the under-13 national finalists for the Girls Development Cup will take to the pitch. The referee just urging that goal kick to be taken. I think she's struggling there, actually, Madison Cox. Not quite sure what happened to her, but seemed to be moving a bit gingerly. Llewellyn replaced, has her bib on down below us alongside Connie Taylor as well. I beg your pardon, it's not Llewellyn replaced, is it? It's Amy Walker who was there alongside her. And the long-range effort right through to goalkeeper Vadgama. I think Kings Langley will be more so pleased with that, though, if they are to see the opposition resort to taking aim from those sorts of distances. Significantly decreases the quality of chance that we've been conceding so far. Oh, Tongue does well. Molly Tongue finds the pass as well, then slips it through. Here's Ruby Young, but the offside flag puts a stop to that. Great play to begin with from Tongue. Just went a little too early there, Ruby Young. And that's going to be her final action for the time being, at least. Player in the Oxford United Academy is Ruby Young. I think it's probably likely that if it stays like this, we'll see her again before time is up. She's off for the time being. And Price back on, and it's Price after this here. Can the goal scorer catch it? No, not before it crossed the line. How Kings Langley would love a bit more of what Alicia Price provided in the first half. Inspiration with that breakthrough goal. The game has certainly just settled, which is understandable given the heat and the tempo and intensity at which it was being played at in the first half. It was always unlikely to stay at that same sort of high level of intensity right throughout its course. But of course, the game settling down into a more familiar rhythm and pattern as it is doing now certainly suits Marple Hall being in front more so than it does Kings Langley. Burmy was threatening to just tow the ball away before the defender could get there then. Nice play from Llewellyn. Llewellyn steps onto it again in midfield, had the option to the left, but opted to pull the trigger instead. Again, though, it was a long-range effort and therefore comfortable once more for Sasha Vadgama. The other thing that I'm tasked with today, by the way, is to select a player of the match come the closing stages of the game, so I'll have a think about that as the game continues, but still a substantial period of this game left. 20 minutes plus stoppage time. We've already seen in the first half just how little time it takes for the game to turn around and how momentum can swing things quickly, so with 20 minutes left to play, certainly plenty of time for many more twists and turns. Turner's ball into the box is a good one as well. Dangerous now. Llewellyn just couldn't quite get it under control. I think she went for the Rabona there, did she, if I'm not mistaken? Lucy Mason tried to dig out the shot at goal. Seemed to look to hook her right foot behind her left to get that shot in on the rebound. I think the better quality chance was the one just before, though, wasn't it? As it didn't quite fall into the path of Papa Jo Llewellyn. She's a player with great quality as well, by the way. Clear to see, isn't it, for those players just naturally gifted. She's most recently been in the Blackburn Rovers Academy. Unfortunately, due to decisions within the club's hierarchy and the funding cuts for the women's programme, she's no longer with that Blackburn Academy, but I'm sure they'll be queuing up in terms of academies looking to take her on board. Now here's an opportunity here for Kings Langley, and it was prodded goal bound by Molly Tongue. And again, Sanders with another stop. Now, for the lack of possession that they've had in this second half, Kings Langley have really done well to create themselves two good quality opportunities. First of which, of course, was for Ruby Young, and a good save from Sanders to deny her, and then the chance there too. And it's for that reason, really, that you feel that there's cause for concern for the Marple Hall defence in those moments when Kings Langley do progress into the attacking half, the final third, and are able to create themselves opportunities like that. Now we have our second casualty with cramp. Both legs being seen to there by the stand-in physios. Goalkeeper Sasha Vadgama just helping out there as well before the physio is on now to see to Daisy Bird. Still those Marple Hall students, supporters who are making most of the noise, outnumbered in truth by the Kings Langley contingent, but the way in which the game has gone, Marple Hall the side in front, and therefore better pleased with the juncture that we find ourselves at the moment. Latest change, Roma Burmy, who worked incredibly hard but was starved of service at times since coming onto the pitch, is back among the substitutes now as Ruby Young re-enters the pitch. And we'll see if Daisy Bird can continue or not. She's in the Tottenham Hotspur Academy, by the way, so again, clearly another player with such talent at these young stages of her career. The referee just asking whether she's going to sub off there or come back on, and it's the latter. Daisy Bird will try to soldier on as there's a bit of a battle there between Young and Sanders. Loose ball to be contested for, but the goalkeeper won it. Now just being called back onto the pitch as well, Daisy Bird, so they're back to the full contingent. Full 9 back on the pitch. Of course, it's this age group, whereas under 15 girls, they'll soon have to make the transition through to 11-a-side football, which in itself comes with natural challenges, an adaptation period maybe. The under 15 girls here still playing in the 9v9 format. Oh, nice skill, Ruby Young, then ran into the challenge though of Mason. It was Thornton, I beg your pardon, with that tackle now forward. Thornton continued her run too. Breaking back towards Freya Thornton. With the halfway line and the header off the top of the head there of the number 4, Katie Turner, but the concern at the moment is for the Kings Langley player, down needing treatment. Has been a bit stop-start at times this second half, understandable, with the substitutions that we've seen made and also the injury worries like this. I think we'll take this opportunity as the second half cooling break then, by the looks of things. The officials have all come across to this near side too, so a natural break in play being used as the cooling break as well for the two sets of players. But still, as we were at half-time, still 2-1. And still on course at the moment, aren't they, the side from Stockport, Marple Hall School. At the moment, on track to lifting the trophy at full time. But it's worth remembering as well that it was the cooling break which prompted the turnaround in the first half for Marple Hall to go from 1-0 down to 2-1 in front. Roles reversed here in the second half break. But we'll see if it can be the catalyst for a comeback into the game, this time for Kings Langley as well. Or, of course, can Michael Stretton, the Marple Hall boss, work his tactical team-talking magic again? Really important stages of this game. She is struggling there, isn't she, Ruby Young, which is never good to see. I think she's going to head towards the changing rooms by the looks of things. So that, you imagine, will inevitably mean another substitution for Kings Langley. Next goal in the game, if indeed there is to be one, is crucial, isn't it? If Marple Hall get it, then you'd probably say that in a final like this, that's as good as the game being done and dusted. Of course, should Kings Langley get the next goal, then with the wind in their sails and the momentum behind them, might even put them as favourites to go on to win it. But at this stage, they're very much the underdogs. This substitution to be made then as the players return back to the pitch. Bit of a more lengthy stoppage with the cooling break there here in the second half in comparison to the first, so it will mean a little bit more of stoppage time at the end of the 70 minutes. Connie Taylor is coming back on here, and Roma Burmy also making her way back onto the pitch. She'd only just been replaced, hadn't she? By Young, in actual fact. Young then now off, having struggled there with cramp. Roma Burmy retakes her place in the front line for Kings Langley. So 59 on the clock, but it is, as I say, worth noting that we will play, you'd imagine, well into stoppage time, given the stoppages that this second half has so far brought us. Referee, they're just having a word with the fourth official. Not too sure what that's about, but looks as though we'll resume straight away. Molly Tongue helped nicely round the corner then by Price. And that was meant for Price to get on a bike after again, but far too close to goalkeeper Sanders. It is a big blow for Kings Langley to lose Ruby Young, if, as looks to be the case, she won't play any further part in this game. Their top goal scorer en route to the final with 12 goals in 7 games. Wasn't really given the opportunities to make her mark on the final today. But as I say, a big loss for them nonetheless. You look elsewhere in the team, the second top goal scorer in this year's competition is Price. Alicia Price, who's of course already scored today. And then there is a bit of a drop down from the 8 goals of Price to the 4 of Molly Tongue. So the large majority of the goals that they've scored in this year's competition have come from either Young or Price, but there's a chance here for Burmy. Was pressured from behind, and while she stayed down here, actually, Roma Burmy, hopefully she's okay to get back to her feet, but it was an opportunity which quickly presented itself. Yeah, good to see that she's back up and okay. But well, add that to the earlier 2 opportunities in this second half for Kings Langley, and they are creating chances despite the lack of real pressure or momentum. You don't get the sense, you don't get that feel that they're really piling the pressure on the Marple Hall goal, but despite that, they are still able to create these opportunities that they have in the second half. That one a difficult ask, of course, for Roma Burmy to, 1, get it on target, and 2, beat goalkeeper Sanders from that distance. But it is nonetheless a chance. Just took a tumble there as she slipped over the ball, I think, Penny Hallis, who we've seen less of in this second half. Much to the delight of the Kings Langley defence, I'm sure, because they very much knew about her in the first 35. It's her goals, her 2 crucial goals, that at the moment have set Marple Hall on their way to success here today. Referee has to get out of the way of that in midfield, in the middle of the pitch, as then again the ball returned back to Sanders, and it's exactly the sort of involvement that she'll want. Comfortable. Hasn't really been an evident change to the game since that calling break. I think what is becoming more and more apparent, though, is the players just taking their time over the restarts, whether that be throw-ins, goal kicks, or even free kicks as well. Burmy here is after it again, but look at that for defending from Thornton. She's going to try and see it all the way through. Now, who got the final touch on that? I'm not sure the referee's certain. He's going to give a throw-in. I thought it had crossed the line. The byline, that is, rather than the sideline, but we'll restart with the throw-in instead for Marple Hall. And we've got a couple more players, again, suffering with cramp, and it certainly goes to suggest that playing the 70-minute match rather than the 80-minute contest, as the two teams mutually agreed before the game, was definitely the right decision. Players who, of course, put in so much effort right throughout the season, but particularly on a big occasion on finals day like today. So easy for the body to just struggle where perhaps the mind wants to continue. Check of the watch there from Michael Stretton, the Marple Hall manager. So more changes to be made. And it is going to be Ruby Young to come back on, which is not something that looked likely when she was off down the tunnel into the changing rooms, but she's back, leading the line now. Good to see that she's been able to make her way back round to this side of the pitch, and what's more, re-enter the game as well. So she's back on for Roma Burmi. And their top goal scorer, remember, 12 goals in the 7 games played to reach this final for Kings Langley, and she's back onto the pitch here at such a crucial time. Just trying to see who the stricken Kings Langley player down receiving treatment there was. Can't see the number. So again, it's turning into a bit of a lengthy stoppage. Will it prolong the inevitable for Marple Hall? Or could it prove to be the reset here that Kings Langley need to spark a late comeback? That clock really is lying to you now, by the way, with 67 minutes as it reads. I can assure you we've got many more than 3 minutes left to play. So they'll be looking for a moment of inspiration, perhaps a piece of individual quality to draw the game level again in the late stages, Kings Langley. Or, of course, what it can be in these sorts of situations is, given the fatigue and maybe tired minds and tired muscles, it often is the case that you see a defensive mistake late on. Wouldn't wish it on any of the players out there. The reality of the situation, often it is the case that you see defensive mishaps later on in a game in comparison to the first half. Oh, never nice to see, is it, when a player's struggling like that, being helped off the pitch by two team coaches there, John Annett and Abu Chowdhury. We very much wish her all the best. And Daisy Bird it is who's being helped off the pitch there. So our best wishes to Daisy. And she's replaced by Tessa Humbles, the number 8, who's been made to wait for her introduction. We've seen so many changes throughout the game so far, but Humbles, who began the game on the bench, has stayed there for its entirety so far. Sanders wanted to make that hers again, but it was taken out of her hands quite literally by Freya Thornton. Still no troubles then though for Marple Hall as they progress forward themselves, and then it ends up back with the goalkeeper at the other end in Tasha Vadgama. Molly Tongue. Now is the time to turn the screw, Kings Langley. Whether we will get an indication, whether that be by the fourth officials, substitutes board, or sometimes just a raising of a certain number of fingers by the referee to say how long the stoppage time period will be. We'll have to wait and see if we can catch that, but we're into additional time now. As I say, there will be plenty of it as Isla Robinson coming back on for Marple Hall. Had 2 decent chances as well to make the game 3-1, one either side of half-time for the Marple Hall number 2. Would have made things very different at this late stage if they had a 2-goal cushion. But in any game, and particularly more so a final, if you're just 1 goal to the good, of course you'd rather be 1 goal up than 1 goal down. But if you are 1 goal up, it's a nervy ending to proceedings. Millie Waitman there, doing her defensive job well. And now the clock is ticking. I think she's just asking there as well, actually, Isla Robinson, how long's left to play. Difficult to see what the referee said back in response, but it was certainly only one hand that he showed her, so what's that, maximum of 5 minutes maybe? Bit of detective work to try to work out how much stoppage time we have. Tongue. Tongue wants it back here to the left. Young looking for Molly Tongue, but it's too close to Sanders. They've really got to dig deep here, haven't they, Kings Langley, to try and find any last bit of energy that they have remaining in the tank. They've gone deep within it today. Can they create another chance here with Alicia Price? Oh, it's off the crossbar. The woodwork to the Marple Hall rescue. And it's agony for Kings Langley that they're still behind. So close to the equaliser there for Alicia Price. Goalkeeper was beaten. Just needed to be a couple of inches lower, and that certainly would have been 2-2. But has it given them the confidence to create another chance, and one which they might take this time? The long-range effort, well saved by Sanders, and then on the rebound, she's struggling there, Katie Turner. But she was, nonetheless, able to turn it behind for a corner. Well, talk about putting your body on the line. As the pressure really is mounting on the Marple Hall goal now, but great work from Katie Turner after the initial save from Sanders. It was Molly Tongue with the long-range effort. They've come close a few times in this second half, Kings Langley, when you think to the chances that they've created. Certainly wouldn't be surprised if their camp felt hard done by if they are to lose this. Having been ahead as well. And that Marple Hall goal now really living a charmed life as Rowley is back on. She's going to replace Turner. And if that is to be her final involvement there, Turner, to clean up the rebound, then what a crucial one it was. Oh, it's bouncing around the box, another chance. Now they'll surely clear. Referee had a look at that. It would have been a defensive free kick anyway, but down the other end It's seen back to Vadgama, and no chances taken by the goalkeeper. 74 minutes played now. How long we have left is anybody's guess. Around is going to leave the throw in to instead be taken by Freya Thornton. Possession overturned though, and Kings Langley will try to get the ball back in play quickly. And there's the full-time whistle. Celebrations for Marple Hall School at the end of the nearly 75 minutes. It's the side from Stockport who celebrates. Commiserations to Kings Langley. Just not to be for them today. Having been ahead in the game, it was the 2 goals from Penny Hallis which turned the game around, and ultimately the winner to make it 2-1 was a stunner. An improvised heel flick which found the bottom corner, a goal worthy of winning any game. And here on finals day, it's won it for Marple Hall School. Kings Langley created chances in that second half, but just couldn't find a way past Ellie Sanders, and then the crossbar to the Marple Hall rescue as well. A great game to watch, but there could only be one winner, and today, with a 2-1 victory, that winner is Marple Hall School.